I hope you've seen some of my previous videos about the construction of the early stages of this Stormwater to Prairie rain garden, but like most stories, there's a backstory. That's what today's video is about, and I hope you'll find it interesting.
This is episode 6 of the series, Stormwater to Prairie. In this series, I'm recording my experiences in converting a stormwater detention basin into a prairie-like environment. This is not exactly prairie restoration, since the 1/2 acre here was once all hardwoods, and no actual tall grass prairies existed for miles from the site in suburban St. Louis. But because of the diversity in plants and wildlife that comes with a prairie environment, we took what is better called a prairie recreation. The first episodes presented earlier document the site before and during construction. This project was required by the local sewer district for pollution prevention caused by the extra stormwater runoff from the street and driveways of the new development that had previously been mostly hardwood forest. The sewer district's default planting plan after grading was to seed the basin sides with tall fescue. Fescue would have prevented erosion of the basin sides, but would have prevented any future native plantings becoming established, since the fescue would choke out any young native seedlings. It took a bit of intervention by the neighborhood to prevent using the developer's contractor from following the default planting plan in the basin sides. But in the end, the original plan was amended, and the basin was seeded with prairie native mix, followed by straw mats seen here to prevent erosion. This picture here was during that construction in January 2021. Now, before that, when the neighborhood was faced with a decision about whether to ask for an amended plan, there seemed to be plenty of support from the sewer district. There are numerous web pages that seem to support native plantings. Here's one page supporting rain gardens. And here's another web page taken from friendly coverage in the local paper about a rain garden project in an older, less prosperous suburb of St. Louis. And here's a brochure at the sewer district website supporting rain gardens, especially as they prevent stormwater runoff. And another sewer district webpage supporting bioretention to reduce the stormwater runoff. Makes sense. And here's another website from the sewer district showing a brochure that supports native plantings. Who would think the sewer district would promote native plantings like sneezeweed and wild bergamot? It appeared we'd find a lot of support from the sewer district in our quest for native plantings. But along the sewer district is really just a lot of engineers paid to perform project management. All projects start with shop drawings, usually produced by an engineer of the developer. Once these are approved, that is how the project goes. Construction is closely monitored in progress, and deviations may result in the project not approved until corrected to the original plan. So where were the plans for our neighborhood stormwater retention project? Finding them required being a cross between a citizen sleuth and an environmental nerd. I didn't mind risking those labels, so I dug deep on the website for the sewer district and found our project. That drawing looked familiar. It was our street with 10 home sites and the retention basin at the end of the street. I was not enough of that nerd to read every page, only I did develop an appreciation of the rainwater runoff calculations that went into developing how big the stormwater basins needed to be to reduce the off-site runoff. So again, here was the basin as designed in December 2020. The middle basin for the rain garden plantings is to the right, and the larger basin in the middle sits with a perforated pipe and concrete inlet to allow that stormwater to escape as a slow trickle into the downhill stream. So far, this was according to the original engineer's plan, except what was supposed to cover the bare dirt sides of the basins. So there, buried on page 16 of 24 in the collection of shop drawings, was a photocopy of a brochure about BMPs, or best management practices, apparently dating from 20 years ago. These BMPs call for seeding, or covering all the bare earth with tall fescue seed or turf. Seed would obviously be cheaper, but would allow more erosion before the grass got started in the spring. Or fescue turf would prevent erosion, but would be much more expensive. So the developer is willing to listen to our alternative suggestion of native seeding with straw mats, since that was less expensive. What the neighbors did not know at the time was that this change required new drawings to be drawn up and submitted, and the construction could not incorporate these amendments until approved by the sewer district engineers. And the real surprise was that the charge for drafting these plans was $900, which was passed on to the homeowners association to pay. Sorry for the poor copy, but the only change to the plans was a scalloped circle at the top indicating where the new planting would occur, and included a listing of the new plants. Yes, we got our native seeds. So the construction went forward with the approved plans. In the end, the change order cost $900. But like many things, details matter. So if your project is covered by a regulatory body like our local sewer district, just know how to play by their rules to get the outcomes you hope for.